Hey everyone, the Dark Knaik is here. The Merrye family suffers from a rare genetic disorder called Merrye syndrome, Merrye. This causes physical, mental, and emotional regression. After the death of the family patriarch, Bruno, the family chauffeur, looks after his children and tolerates the brutality and madness of the three Merrye siblings. One of the Merrye siblings is Virginia, who is obsessed with Spider, played by Jill Banner. Her sister is Elizabeth, played by Beverly Washburn, and their brother Ralph, Sid Haig. But protecting them from the heinous crimes becomes almost impossible for Bruno when the relatives of the building owners arrive with their lawyer and secretary to claim ownership. There was a time for the spooky and horror films that achieved cult status in the United States and Europe in the 1960s. This was followed by Giallo films of Italy in the same time period until the late 1970s, and Ramsay Brothers of India, who also were producing some horror films in the 1970s until the 1980s. This was a special wave created by some innovative filmmakers who believed in setting trends of the genre. Two prime examples to make my point: Robert Aldrich's Whatever Happened to Baby Jane and Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. But those films were directional classics of the genre, and their production budgets were around $1 million each. This Spider Baby is a low-budget spooky horror film which has a production investment of hardly $60,000-$70,000. Maybe the reason is that director Jack Hill was making exploitation films in those times, and these films had a relatively low budget because from the business point of view, these films were never able to compete with the biggies of those times. Spider Baby's accomplishment is the presentation of the elements of black comedy and horror. The story itself was unique for the audience. Plus, the actors of that syndrome, Merrye syndrome, did a lot of justice with crazy portrayals. I was completely sold at the beginning scene where Virginia suddenly arrives in the room with two butcher knives and ropes, which she called her web.
I caught a big fat bug right in my spider web.
And brutally kills the visitor.
The spider gets to give the bug a big sting.
That was my favorite scene of the film. And generally speaking, the film's camera work and Jill Banner's body language were superb. So was the main theme of the film that gives you a very exciting gothic feeling. How good was Spider Baby? Well, it's not a masterpiece due to a very low budget, but it is an easy visit to the spooky genre for entertainment. Spider Baby will always be remembered for its story, black comedy, and horror elements. I'm Sunny Naik.